Well, I'm joined now by one of the leading politicians in Hungary campaigning against the homosexuality law. Klára Dobrev is a member of the European Parliament who plans to run against the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán in next year's national elections and joins us now live. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for the invitation.
So this bill was signed into Parliament last week. It's been widely condemned by human rights organisations. You've condemned it as well. Just describe how it came about and why there was so little resistance amongst those voting.
Well, you have to understand that this is the basic of the politics of Viktor Orbán, who is ruling the country since 2010. Every time when there is an election coming, then he's pointing the finger in one of the groups or one of the groups of people in order to hate them. This time, these are the gay and lesbian people, the LMBTQ community. 4 years ago, that was the migrants and the refugees. Then there was the European Union, George Soros. In Hungary, he always wants that people hate someone in order to divert the side of the politics or the topic of the politics from the real performance, what he's doing, because the performance is very poor.
There's a great deal of backlash in Europe over this law. Some European leaders say Hungary should leave Europe because this law doesn't fit, because it doesn't fit in with Europe's ideals. The Dutch PM even suggested that Hungary's Prime Minister should trigger Article 50 to leave. You say this could be a turning point. Just explain why.
Yes, Viktor Orbán made a lot of steps in the last 10 years in order to lead out Hungary from the European Union. The only strong reason for him to stay in the Union are the EU funds, the subsidies what we receive from the European Union every year, and this is billions of euros or dollars, if I have translated. But now with the new regulation, the so-called rule of law regulation, those funds can be stopped, especially when the governments, like the Hungarian government, is simply not obeying with the rule of law or with human rights, as in this case. So even this tiny reason for him in order to expect or accept the European Union's regulation is going away. And it's clear that his focus, his political focus, is now towards Russia, towards China, towards Turkey, and not towards the Euro-Atlantic community or towards the Western democracies. That is the reason why the opposition united itself in order to really put an end to this nightmare.
I'm having a little bit of difficulty with the audio, but I just want to ask you a little bit more about that. So 6 opposition parties are uniting to run to defeat Prime Minister Orbán in the next election. This is a huge moment. Do you think this is your only way to defeat the Prime Minister?
Yes, definitely. You have to understand that the first step of Orbán Viktor in 2010, back in 2010, is to change the election law and to change it in a unilateral way, so without discussing it with anyone. So we know exactly that the elections are not going to be free and they are not going to be fair. But still, the different parties, liberals, social democrats, conservatives, Greens, they united themselves together because this is the only way how we can really defeat Orbán. And now the united opposition is leading by several percent, according to the polls. That means that we are going to make some primaries. And, well, it's not exactly the same like in the United States, because it's not going to be a primary within a party, like within the Democrats or the Republicans, but this is going to be a primary among parties in order to choose one prime minister candidate and one candidate for every constituency. And this is the way, technically, how we can defeat Orbán. And I really feel the power of the people. I think the huge majority of the Hungarians is simply fed up with Orbán Viktor and his government.
All right, Klára Dobrev, candidate for Hungarian Prime Minister. Good to have you with us. Thanks for your time.